Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. From Image Comics, we're going to be talking about Torrent, issue number 1. It is written by Marc Guggenheim, art by Justin Greenwood, colors by Rico, Renzi, and letters by Keith Wood. And it says that Marc, Justin, and Keith also created and designed the comic. But before we get into the review, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. It's all free, don't cost you anything. Let me know your thoughts, let me know, tell me hi, Okay, so without further ado, here we go, the review. So, I heard a couple different things about this book, and supposedly it's going to be like this massive Image, like crossover book between other like franchise stories or something like that. I didn't really see anything like that in this issue. It's basically the setup of the main characters. But we start out with some future panels. We do get to see Torrent, and not Torrent. The superhero's name actually is Crackerjack. But we do get to see like some future images, and it kind of like states after this first page that the story kind of takes place 1 week earlier. Before we get going, I will say that it is a superhero story, so it does follow kind of those kind of tropes. But there is a couple different like comparisons that I would like to bring up that it reminds me of, like a mix between Punisher, Kick-Ass, and Invincible. But I don't know, you tell me. So we do catch up with Crackerjack and her pristine, nice, normal looking superhero uniform compared to this. But we do see her in the middle of a it's a armored car heist, and we do see that there are like some super villainy looking characters like this guy, and she does mention, I was reading it Mr. Skeleton, but I might be Mr. Skeleton, but I'm gonna go with Mr. Skeleton. It sounds cooler. But she basically states that this Mr. Skeleton guy keeps creating these like low-level supervillains. She does eventually take out these supervillains with the help of another character, and his name is Slipstream, which we see right here, and it's kind of cool. They give the lettering, like Slipstream, and they show him right here, and he is a speedster. But technically, he is like the unofficial like sidekick to Crackerjack. We do get her name right here, and we do learn that her real identity is Michelle Metcalf, and she does this, during the day, and at nighttime she is a regular mom. But before we get to that, like as they are leaving and wrapping up the armored heist, one of the goons does manage to laser blast our dude Slipstream in the knee, right here, which forces Crackerjack to take Slipstream back to her secret hideout, somewhere that Slipstream has never been to. His knee is pretty badly burned, but she states that that she has something that can take care of it. They do go back to her secret lair, and she does spray this stuff, and she states that it's like it, I forget what it's like an enhanced healer, or healing enhancer, and she got it from the Praetorians, like another race or something from a different time, I don't know. But basically, she does state that it is an enhanced healer. It's not a magic cure-all type thing, because instantly his knee starts to heal, and he can use it, and he starts to feel better. She does state that he needs to stay off it for 48 hours. There is this whole back and forth thing, because he is technically not her sidekick. He's just somebody that kind of stalks her. But he does state that he knows everything about her. He knows her husband, her son, like their real names. Her husband being Adam and her son being Ian. And this is kind of the last piece of the puzzle that he didn't know. He had never been to her secret hideout kind of thing. So there is this whole talk about like, hey, please let me be your sidekick kind of thing. She does state that she will think about it, and then needs to stay off the knee for 48 hours. And she kind of, she does give it to him like an order, which he's like, okay, I'll stay off of it, And So we do come to a scene where Michelle is at home, relaxing. She goes home and she cooks dinner for her husband and her son. They're coming home from a baseball game, which the son did amazing at. In the background, like in her thoughts, it is stated, and because this is 1 week earlier, that she would have cooked a better dinner if she knew this was going to be the last moments that she was going to get to spend with her family. So I mean, they kind of reveal what's coming up, but they do have a full nice dinner where they chat back and forth. They mention that Slips Cracker Jack foiled a armored car robbery, and that one of the superheroes got hurt. There's some conversation with the husband and wife in the background about said superhero, that he did get hurt but he was okay, got fixed. As this is going on and we get to a romantic scene here with the couple, we see that Slipstream over here did not heed the warning, and she did state that that he would appear to have been healed, but yet if he used it, that there was a possibility that the injury could come back, kind of thing. And we see that he's over here running at super speed. There's these little thought bubbles of him stating, oh yeah, my leg feels fine. Oh look, a robbery in progress. And sure enough, he comes across this villain, who we find out later on his name is Bruiser, and he's robbing a bank. Slipstream thinks it's Christmas. He ends up taking off at super speed to knock down the dude, and sure enough, just like she warned him, the injury comes right back. He ends up crashing at super speed, knocking himself out, and Bruiser just kind of picks him up and kind of takes him home. Next scene we see here is we get to meet Mr. Skeleton, or Mr. Skeleton right here, and I guess this would be his like number 2, but this guy's name is Sylvie. Yeah, but basically he's like a scientist slash go-to guy. But basically they do show that they have Slipstream, that they had beat him beyond recognition the first night. Mr. Skeleton is asking for a name. That's all he wants. And he kind of points out that he still is all 100% intact, that the beating that he took so far is just skin deep kind of thing, and that if he doesn't give him the name, that they're going to start to remove appendages, starting with his fast legs, you know what I'm saying? And sure enough, we do get one scene where he mentions Michelle, and the next scene we get is back at home. They're at the next day, it's been another day, they're at dinner, and boom, this dude jumps in. His name is Kill Squad. She has like a blank moment where she doesn't realize what's going on. We see that this guy does have powers. He's able to, kind of like a multiple man, he's able to make multiple copies that work on their own. And instantly, like, after the pause of her like freaking out that this villain has found her, not only knows her identity, but has found her home, her family, she starts kicking ass. But sure enough, the boy gets taken. As seen here, he's, Kill Squad is just falling out the window with him. And right here, Kill Squad mentions that their mutual friend has wanted her to see this, and sure enough, bam, she witnesses her husband die right before her eyes. She is knocked out for a moment. She comes to because there is a beeping noise, and of course they left a bomb. She quickly, jumps out, makes it out of the house, but with damage. They show her pretty damaged here, but as she is like coming to after being kind of blasted out of her own house, she kind of put in the whole mutual friend thing and knows that it's Mr. Skeleton, and that's where she's going. She hasn't put the pieces together that it's Slipstream that kind of let it slip, but that's where we leave off with this issue. And we do get a preview of the second issue, no description or nothing like that. Not that I'm gonna double check. No, that's it. Just the just a picture. But my final thoughts is this book was fantastic. At first, I was getting the whole like, this is a copy of a copy of a copy. But unfortunately, some of those books that I mentioned, like Invincible or the whole Punisher story, I haven't read. So this was new for me. I have seen Invincible the show. I have watched Kick Ass, but this was enough where it was different. It was fresh, especially the whole like ending and how it happened. I know it's not the first time it's happened, but I mean, with the first cover looking like this, I'm pretty sure it's going to get pretty bloody as it goes along. Um, but for a first issue, the art, the story, the progression of the story was fantastic. It did not waste any time getting to the nitty gritty. Let me know what you think about this book down below. Did you like it? Was it, something that's been played out? You're tired of superhero stuff? Let me know down below. I dug it. I'm definitely putting this on my pull list. It will be definitely getting issue number 2. But that's what I got for you. I'll let you go. Y'all have a great Friday. I will see y'all in the wild, or on the YouTube wild. But I'll see y'all around. Bye, guys. Bye.